We're going to talk about singing today. I'm about to trigger a lot of vocal coaches and singing teachers and a bunch of stuff like that. This is my take on singing. If you like what I do and you've seen me sing before, I've had great vocal coaches in the past, and I have tried to consolidate everything I've learned from them and help me get better and better. And I am going to give you my no BS guide on how to get good at singing and pretty much the only techniques that I want you guys to be working on if I'm going to get you to work on techniques. So if you're new here, my name is Luan. I'm a professional musician, live streamer. I've done over 1,000 shows, gone paid for them. I sing, I do everything and play guitar and do all that stuff. I graduated from Berklee with a scholarship, and I've built an online music school to help give you practical music education tips and help you guys crush it from beginner to advanced, whatever you guys need. It's all in there, and have fun. So this is part of our how to sing and play guitar section. And so this is just like a dedicated singing lesson because our community keeps asking for like tips on singing and techniques and stuff to do. And I've been hesitant to go down this route of telling you guys what I would do as a singer because there's just a lot of information out there, and a lot of it is really, really good. And definitely you want to take everything as like with a grain of salt of what I say, as well as like what you might hear from other vocal coaches. But I found in my experience that a lot of the stuff that holds back everyone from singing really comes down to there's just too much information out there that is not actually getting you through the door and like singing and playing songs. And so right off the bat, I'm telling you guys, from being beginner all the way to being like a professional, advanced, whatever level you want to call yourself, there's only one thing you have to do, and it's you just got to start singing songs. Now, at the beginning, you will suck. And I'm telling you right off the bat, you will suck so bad that you'll just be like, oh my God, that is disgusting. And I tell you this from experience because when I started singing, that was the reaction that everyone had to my singing, and I get paid to do it now. So like, and I don't get paid like a little bit, like that's my career. I make money playing music. That's all I do. I sing on stream. That's all I do. People are like, wow, we love your voice. And I'm like, hey, we all start with garbage together. So if you're a beginner, don't be afraid. What you need to be doing is immediately start singing songs, finding the songs that you want to play, that you love, that you would just like your dream would be to sing those songs, and you need to do them. My mistake, my biggest mistake in my music career was I didn't listen to that. That is like something that I innately was leaning towards. I just really wanted to sing songs, but I was always getting told by vocal coaches and stuff, hey, you need to do this first before you can do that. You can't like go down that route. And then I would spend all this time doing exercises, and then I wouldn't actually be singing songs. And then it turns out I just need to sing songs. The reason why I want you to sing songs is because the people singing the songs, especially the recordings that you're going to listen to of like the best musicians in the world, are the best musicians in the world doing their best take at singing a song. So if you listen to a recording, that is the moment in the studio that them and the producer were like, this was the best performance. And if you base everything you do to learn how to sing off of the best performance of the best singers, you will pick up something no matter what. And like, this doesn't mean if you're a beginner. At the beginner, there's going to be things like pitch recognition and like getting the timing right, learning the vocal rhythms, things like that, trying to keep up with lyrics. Like, there's going to be so many basic things that you're going to be stressed about. But then as you get better and your ear gets better, as you move on to like intermediate advanced things, you could just go back to the same song over and over again at different stages of your career as a singer. You will get more juice out of it because you will notice that, oh, wow, I didn't realize Dolly Parton was that good because like her vocal rhythm is like impeccable and her articulation of words is so good, or Shania Twain or whatever. Any like trust me, any singer that is successful in the top 100 Billboard at some point in their time is doing something amazing, and it's pretty much your fault if you can't pick it out. And that's fine at the beginning because at the beginning we're not like exceptional musicians, but as you get better and better, you're going to start to pick out these things and learn to hear them. And that's why I want you to start with songs. So the basic framework for learning a song and getting into your singing, and please don't be afraid to sound bad. Like I said, everyone thought I sounded like garbage. Everyone told me stop singing, just stick to playing the guitar. But I was like, I'm going to brute force this, because if someone can sing and inspire people, then maybe I can be that guy. And so I was like brute forcing. I knew that I didn't have it. And I knew that, hey, if I just brute force this, it will work at some point. And so that's what I did. And so you can take the shortcuts so it's easier for you. But if you can see that I did it and I brute forced it and it was like very garbage for a long time, that means you guys can do it. So don't be afraid. Like you could truly be tone deaf and build your ear up and actually start singing and then start crushing it in maybe a couple of years. But the thing that you have to do is start. And that's where everyone gets stuck. If you don't do these first steps of starting, then you're stuck and you're never going to get better. And this is the same thing if you get stuck at plateaus of being intermediate, professional, all that kind of stuff. You just got to keep being able to find songs and push the barriers. And so use this framework that we're going to do. You're going to pick your song and you're going to just start singing the song. Now, you want to sing with the song so that you can start to pick out parts of the song. Ideally, you want to follow our, 3 steps to like learning a vocal part, which is get the vocal rhythm down, then focus on the melody, and then get the lyrics. So that will be like try to figure out the rhythm of how they're singing. Then you want to start extracting the melody, and the way you can extract the melody is by just like pick a vowel sound, like do, oo, e, ah, whatever you want. I typically go do, 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 and then start to really hone in on the melody and do, 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 and then start adding the lyrics. And then what you're going to do is once you've done that with the recording, you're going to start taking off the recording and then see what you can do on your own. So sing on your own a cappella and then see how you go. And then you play the recording and then listen and be like, was that good? Was that bad? Try it again. Keep doing it over and over. And that is the simple process of crushing it. Like learning how to sing, just do that. Honest to God, anyone who does that for like 5-10 years, you will become an exceptional singer. I am telling you right now, as long as you pick a great recording to copy, you will be such a good singer. You don't even need any vocal training. Like you do that, and I'm telling you, anyone who does that will do a great job. You might build bad habits, but that's what we're here for, to help you stop doing the bad habits. And I'm not to say don't get a vocal coach. I'm saying like definitely start singing and doing what you're doing and just do this process of like learning a song and do it that way. But you can always go and get a vocal coach to help clean up any technique issues. But if you don't have that core foundation of you building your ear and learning to sing songs and connecting with songs, then you're kind of like a lost case anyway, because you just become a vocal scale machine and you just sing songs that other people tell you to sing because they're like, these are the right songs to sing. That's not how it works. It's not going to make you want to do it long term. And that's what we're all about. What makes you want to sing all the time? Now, you get bonus points during this process. This is the hardest thing to do, but the most fruitful thing to do is going to be you're going to record yourself singing to the track. Now, if you listen back to the recording, you'll be like, oh my God, that is garbage. And you're going to be like, oh my God, what is this? And so that is where you can extract heaps of information on where you are missing compared to the recording. Because if you compare yourself singing in a recording and then immediately see what the actual recording sounds like, you're going to hear every mistake and you're going to be like, wow, that's really bad. And the other thing I want to say is if you do listen back to a recording of yourself, understand that when you are singing, and like you're just like singing in a room, you're hearing reflections from the walls and things like that, but you're also hearing reverberations inside the bones of your ear and like your body. You're hearing the reverberations of your voice and your vocal through your body. So you're not hearing what the microphone's picking up or whatever your phone's picking up. So that's why when you listen back to yourself and you're like, wait, do I really sound like that? That's what's happening there. So don't feel bad. That's just what you sound like, period. We can't do anything about it. It is what it is. People are like, oh, you sound nasally. I try to reduce my nasally sound and I've gotten a lot better at it. But it's my tone. Like I just can't affect, like you can influence tone as much as you want, but your voice is your voice. We all have unique builds of our mouths and stuff like that. So as much as it would be awesome to sound like Adele, I'm not going to sound like Adele, or sound like Ed Sheeran. I will not sound like Ed Sheeran. And some people have similar vocal constructions and can manipulate their voice as well. But that is in itself is a whole new skill you have to work on. And I just wouldn't recommend it because it's like quite painful to go through that process. But what we can do is just stick to what our voice sounds like and just be comfortable that, hey, this is what my voice sounds like. The sooner you get used to your voice, the sooner you're going to start seeing the fruits of just doing that all the time. The sooner you can get past what your voice sounds like and be comfortable with that, you're just going to absolutely crush it. It's going to be amazing. So that's what I recommend. Anyone who's trying to sing, you're going to begin singing a song, you're going to sing with the track, and then you can turn off the track and see how you go. And if you can record yourself while singing, you're absolutely just going to keep getting better and better and better. And these, especially if you're a beginner to intermediate, the areas you want to be really thinking about is like, what's my pitch? How's my vocal rhythm going? Am I missing lyrics? Am I getting correct articulation on things? So those are things that you want to think about. And then usually what I find for the advanced and professional singers is they typically have bad timing. And when I say bad timing, they don't have perfect timing. So they can get the gist of a song correct, but they don't get all the inflections. So if you really, really want to get good at singing, listen to the recordings of these songs that you might already know. And if you think you're a great singer, you listen to those recordings, you're going to find that, oh my God, I actually am not as good as I thought. And some of these things that like the way they attack certain vowel sounds and consonants, this is more advanced stuff, but that level of a detail to a vocal, the volume, when do they jump in, how long do they hold the notes, things like that, you need to start getting really laser focused when you're comparing yourself to other successful songs, because that will really open up your articulation and you will just get so clean. And I find that the more you are connected to the rhythm and you can really nail these like articulation points and getting like perfect vocal rhythm that these people do, these hit singers they do, if you can do that, that is actually where feel is really come from. When people are like, man, I'm so moved by that vocal, it's actually really coming from that point. That was a big unlock for me as a singer. Is like, once I realized that, oh my God, that's the point. I don't need to be like some, drunk and like on drugs or whatever, recovered addict to feel pain and all that stuff. Like, no, it comes from absolute total control of the vocal rhythm. The more control you have over the vocal rhythm and that deliberate like ninja stuff that you hear these great singers do, oh my gosh, that is what's going to unlock huge amounts of feel for you. So if you guys are trying to learn any song, that's what I highly recommend you do. I don't want you guys jumping into doing techniques. I'm going to have another video right after this, which is going to be all about techniques that I would recommend that you do. But this is my TLDR of singing. You do not need to go to a vocal coach. You do not need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars not hundreds of thousands, but like hundreds of dollars or maybe thousands of dollars getting vocal coaching and all that stuff. You do this stuff and you most likely will get pretty good at singing. You will at least sound listenable. Technique, like doing exercises and techniques will tire your voice. And I want to say this as well. There's just one rule of thumb. If it's painful, stop. If you feel like you're singing and it's painful, you feel anything sharp or anything like that, then there's something that you're doing damage to. So immediately stop and pull back on what you're doing. So if you're super enthusiastic and you start singing, remember that the vocal folds that you have, it's a muscle. Everything that's happening here is all muscles. So you wouldn't go to the gym and just immediately start lifting like, 100 kilos or 200 pounds and be like, oh, I've got this. Especially if you look like me, you definitely would not go to the gym and be trying to lift, 200 pounds. And there you go. You guys know how much I lift. I definitely can't lift 200 pounds. So you wouldn't go to the gym and try and do that because you would just hurt yourself. Now, the same thing goes with your voice. It's very easy for people to jump in and start singing all the time because like it's just your voice, you're just like, oh, it's fine. My voice can handle it. I talk all the time. It's all good. But if you go too hard on this, you could hurt your voice. And so this is the only times that I'm like, hey, you should see a vocal coach. If you are doing consistently like singing all the time and you're enjoying your progress, but you do feel like every now and then there might be some pain, go see a vocal coach. They will be able to look at you, and especially a good one, and be like, hey, you're doing this and we don't want you to do this. In the next video on the techniques and stuff, I will explain like techniques that you want to think about, and they will help mitigate any of that like stuff that will happen. But just remember that if there's fatigue, like you feel tired, just means stop. That just means you're working pretty hard, and just stop singing. Now, and like take a break. Don't push yourself. Like fatigue won't do damage to your voice. I believe it hasn't done damage to my voice, and I've been able to do like 10, 12-hour days of singing. And so like, I only know from experience, but I also know other people who push through pain, like the sharpness, the hurting things. So when it hurt and then they sang, they develop nodules. So fatigue most likely will not do any bad damage to you, so don't be worried about that. But pain, oh my God, if you feel pain ever while singing, immediately stop. Anytime I'm singing and I feel like I can't control my muscles because I'm that tired from singing for like 10 hours and I feel one iota of pain, I'm done. I'm like guitar solos for 10 minutes. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care what the audience thinks. I'm like, take care of my voice immediately. And so because obviously I'm in situations where I have to play even when I do have those things happen to me. So I'll be like, all right, lots of guitar solos. I'll give myself a break for like 20 minutes while singing, or like 10 minutes, and then bam, I jump back in. So your vocal health is really important. Just don't push yourself to the pain point. Fatigue is okay. Ideally, I don't want you to be pushing through fatigue. Just leave it. If you're a professional singer, that's okay. Just be like really mindful of your technique and try and take more breaks, like extend the guitar part a little bit longer, maybe do a couple of guitar solos, or, pass it off to like Jimmy on the side who's playing guitar, yo, take it away. And then let them do like some mad ass solo for 10 minutes and you rest your voice. But if you feel pain, please stop playing. Please stop singing. Give yourself a break for at least a day. And if it's a regular occurrence, like at least, a couple of times a week, you do feel that, really go reach out to a vocal coach who can like diagnose whatever's going on with your voice, because you might be doing some serious damage, or you might have a predisposition to a certain kind of like, physiological thing while singing that might hurt you. So definitely do that, because the thing that is the most scariest thing for all singers is nodules. And you do not want to get nodules. That requires surgery. It can hold you back on singing for a really long time. It can affect your voice in really bad ways. So just be careful, because if you do things in a not good way, you can really hurt your voice. And even doing lots of exercises when you feel like you're tired, and you're doing like, if you decide to go down the route and get like a vocal coach for exercises, if you feel tired, stop singing. Just stop. If you feel pain while you're trying to sing high, stop singing. You don't need to do that. The voice will evolve. And if you're like, man, every time I try to sing high, it's really, really painful. It's like, that's your voice telling you, we can't do this yet. So it's like, the only problem is you just can't see it. Like if you're in the gym, you can see 100 kgs or whatever trying to lift that, and it's a lot of weight. And you're like, for me, but if you're swole, probably not. But if you're trying to lift a heavy weight, you're like, oh my God, that's really heavy. I can't do this. So then you logically would use lighter weights. If your vocal range is like, whoa, this is way too high, or this is way too low, listen to your body. Don't push it. Just be like, it is what it is. What I typically do is I will try songs that are high, that are harder than for me to sing, and I will try them. And then I will come back to what I'm comfortable doing. And then I will try them again in like a week or two, and then I'll come back. And then what I find is, because I'm consistently doing a little bit of trying and being like, hey, what does this feel like? What does it feel like? Sometimes now I'm finding like, oh, I can now do this. I can now try this, because I've given my voice time to grow and improve. And because I've been consistent, it will get there eventually. And there's no limit. There might be a physical limit to your range, but there is, realistically, there is like a huge, like if you feel like, oh, I can only sing this much right now, that's how I used to be. Mine used to be like this much, and then it just grew, and now I can do like, really cool runs, and I can do like, vocal, like higher, like, head voice things and whatever stuff like that. But yeah, don't push yourselves too hard, and let your voice catch up to wherever your dreams are. Like your voice will catch up, but it just It just needs time. Just treat it with love, and it'll come back and bring you all the good things. Anyway, that's enough of me talking about how we're going to do the vocals. So any singer can really jump in and do this stuff. Like, you can be beginner, advanced, just follow that framework that I was discussing. And in the next video, I'm going to discuss pretty much the techniques that I would use on the reg, and how you guys can start applying them to your singing and start crushing it. All right, see you in the next video.